Brandon Brands.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 105. Today we talk about why should they trust you, building authority within your community. Check it out.
In a world where advertising is ignored, business is exposed, and the only constant is change, how do you build a brand that matters? Welcome to Brands on Brands on Brands, a home for those who think different and push their boundaries. This is where branding that matters lives. Now, here's your host, Brandon Birkmeyer.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Brands on Brands on Brands, episode 105. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal marketing coach, and I believe that building a brand that matters is the only way for your business to thrive tomorrow. And I'm happy to say that because of your guys' support, and we are here with season 2 and coming into it, Brands on Brands on Brands, which, try saying that all the time, every day, is a top 100 marketing podcast where entrepreneurs and marketing thought leaders come together to enlighten, to educate, and to inspire entrepreneurs across the globe to get started building better brands. Couldn't do it without you guys. We launched this show back in May of 2019, if you are new, and we hit the new and noteworthy charts right away for 7 straight weeks in business and marketing. And we've been blessed to feature the world's leading minds in marketing and entrepreneurship. People like Mark Schaefer, Brian Fanzo, Neil Schaefer, keynote speakers in their fields of marketing, authors and entrepreneurs such as Oren Klaff, Steve Sins, and Jen Herman, top podcasters like John Lee Dumas, Travis Chappell, and Mike Kim, and more, many, many more. This season alone, we launched with David Meerman Scott, who had his new book come out. If you haven't listened to this week's episode, you should check that out as well. Just new authors coming to the table with what their marketing thought leadership knowledge is, and we're sharing that with you. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Brandon, as I've mentioned. I'm a brand strategist, a marketing consultant, and I've been in this game over 18 years working on Fortune 100 brands such as Coca-Cola and Apple. And if you are interested in working with me, you are welcome to go to my website and check it out. What I do is I help businesses with their marketing strategy, and I help personal brands, consultants, coaches, and entrepreneurs who are experts in their field. I help them develop their personal brand platforms. Specifically, right now, I'm helping people with their podcasts, how to launch podcasts, because that's been something I've been passionate about this year. So if you at all are interested, just want to let you know, you can go to my website, brandonbrands.com/apply to figure out if you might want to work with me and I might want to work with you. Otherwise, just go to the website and you can always check out more about me, my content, and get updates on what's going on with the show and other freebies that I might be putting out. So check that out. It's a little housekeeping for you guys. But I do appreciate you listening every week. And this is going to be a good one. Today, we are diving into the topic of authority. So let me back up a second here. This season is really about the idea of personal branding. And I've framed this as, the 3 key components to being a personal brand are your message, your community, and the impact you make in that community. And these next 3 episodes, which will, every other episode will be one of these. So 105, 107, and 109, these next 3 episodes are going to be diving into community building specifically. So if that's a topic that you are really struggling with or something you want to learn a lot more about because community is really important to you and your business, then you're going to want to listen to these episodes. And you might want to go back to episode 96 and hear where I lay out the framework for how to build your community. So basically the 3 pieces of this are going to be authority. So developing your community, you need authority, you need discovery, and you need list building. And I dive into that in episode 96. But today we're going to dive into the authority piece first and go deeper on what that means to be an authority in your community and how that works to help build your community and your personal brand. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm excited to have you guys with me. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So first off, let me just establish that if you are out there and you need a personal brand or you have a personal brand that you are growing, the best part about building your personal brand is that you get to help other people. And those people, as they gather around your content, as you have a message that we've talked about in these past few episodes, as you have a message that people want to gather around that has brought them to you, because your message is either going to repel people or bring them to you. As you bring people to you, they're going to start to, wonder what it is that you are saying and like what it is that they can get from this relationship. And as you bring them into a community, two things happen, right? They get a chance to interact with you more directly and kind of deep dive into what you're all about and binge your content and actually have more direct conversations where you talk to them, they talk to you, and they get to talk to other people in your community that might have like-minded issues, problems, experiences, whatever it might be. So the community is what frames this. It's an environment for them to interact that you can develop a meaningful experience with them in. And that community can live anywhere. It can be in person. It could be online. The point is that you are the one who's bringing them together and they're gathering around some topic that all connects them because you are the one that is delivering your message. And that message is the common thread that connects the people. So you being an authority within this community is important. As you being the person that brought them together, they look to you as a leader in the space, as someone who's going to direct them on how to act in the community, on what to come back for, and to know what to be expecting and what you're going to deliver each week. And that's your role and responsibility as the community leader. And it's an important piece of you having a community within your personal brand business. So let's talk about that a little bit. So there's three pieces in my mind that are the most important pieces of really taking on that role of being an authority within your business. And the three pieces, I'll just lay them out quickly. The first is to be consistently doing more work researching your core topic. It's your job to be staying ahead of your audience in terms of the things that you are known for. You don't want them to, if they pass you, that's great, good for them. But my point is that you always want to be able to have something that they can learn from you and that you can continue to add value to them over time. If someone sits with you for a month and you run out of things that they can learn from you, then I don't think you're doing your job as the authority, and they're going to look for someone else to continue to push the envelope and to help them grow. So your job is to continue to grow your expertise in your subject, to research your core topic, okay? And I think I meant to list these three and I didn't, so let me do it before you're here. The first one is to research your core topic, to be ahead of the curve in terms of knowledge. The second is to curate the best of, and we'll talk about that. And the third is to provide quick wins. So it's research your core topic, curate the best of, and facilitate quick wins. Okay, you do these three things, and that will help you take on your authority role within your community. So let's dive into that a little bit. So research your core topic, we've done a little bit of conversation on already, but basically this is you saying, okay, what's going on in my industry? Where are people struggling the most? What are the topics that are going to be useful for my audience? You doing that work. You actually, the reason you have this community is to talk to them. You ask them, what are you struggling with? What are you challenged with? And as they grow and evolve, you'll have things that people have in common. You'll have people who are ahead of others, that they have new topics that they struggle with. And as you solve some issues and you help people along, they're going to have new struggles, new things that they want to break through on. And you can consistently be there to grow with them. And your job is to stay ahead of the curve and to bring to light new ideas and topics that they have not encountered yet, and to be ahead of them on that journey. So you can consistently be out there staying on top of what's new, what's topical, staying on top of best practices, reinforcing the important things that they need to keep doing that they might forget to do, and doing the research, doing the work to dive deep on your core topic and being a continued, passionate, enthusiastic person that understands your topic better than other people. And you're not going to be, the deepest expert on something to begin with. Your goal is to just stay ahead of the people that are learning from you. And you do this for a long enough time, and you're going to be way ahead of people that come into your community a year from now versus a week from now. And that's your job. That's the biggest part of this, is being someone that people can learn from. Because if they have nothing to learn from you, they have no reason to be in your community. Okay. So number one, research your core topic and continue to stay ahead of the curve on that thing that you want to be known for. Number two, curate the best of. So for me, this is about, as you're doing this authority work and you're figuring out, what is it that I can bring to the table? A lot of your job is to bring to the table either the resources that people use, but it's kind of scattered, or they forget, or they are doing it for the first time. Your job is to curate that best of list so that they can get to it more quickly. They can say, okay, yeah, thanks for doing the work, so I don't have to. Let me look at your list of what you have tried, and I'll just use what you use so I don't have to learn. If you can save people time and the brain energy to have to figure it out for themselves, you're doing your job as a leader in your market, as the authority in your space. So, and don't underestimate how powerful that can be, to not have to look at and have questions and have, because everything sounds the same. Say if I want to figure out a tool on, for example, like which email marketing provider to use, which email tool to use, there might be 50 of them out there. And not knowing, because I go to their websites and they all sound the same, not knowing which one to pick and not wanting to pick just on price, not knowing which one's going to be the best for my business is daunting. And you being able to say, hey, I know you, I know my audience. For people like you, this is exactly the tool that should be useful, or at least narrowing it down, saying these are the 1 or 2 or 3 that you can choose from, and here's why, or how to make your choice, is hugely beneficial. And what's great is usually it's work that you've already done for yourself, or it's work that you've learned from other people, because you're putting yourself in positions to learn from other people as well. The people you learn from and you're trusting, you can pass that knowledge on. It doesn't just have to be things that you do yourself. Your job is to take the best of everywhere you learn from and give it to the people who are finding you. And if you can do that, you are helping them jump the line, skip ahead, and not take the time that you took to figure it all out. And here's another great one. If you know that there are a couple of top useful tools for a certain problem that people have, you can go ahead and review those things in depth and say, here are the best of things. And the thing that you use the most, you can develop an affiliate relationship with and say, because it's what I use, because it's something that I love and I trust, I'm now also going to build an affiliate relationship with them and make this beneficial for me too. And that's okay. It's okay if everyone wins. It's okay if you win for doing the work and they win by having to skip the hours it might have taken them to learn, which is money in their pocket as well. So that is one benefit of this as well. And the other things you can curate are the tools, like not just the resources, but like what are the things you're using every day, but also like what are the templates that you use? There are things that you can build that will help your business because you're trying to help other people. So maybe things that you would have put off because you just have a process that you follow. If you actually create that process and write it down and put that in a nice looking format, you can share that with other people and help them. And if you don't have a process, at least written out, but you follow one, you taking the time to write it for other people actually helps you. You might find better ways to do something that you hadn't thought of, or you'll have at least a place to look now so you don't have to kind of remember it every time or miss a step because you didn't write out your processes. It's helpful for everyone. And on top of that, you might also have templates that you want to build that you never take the time to do for yourself. You've been hand creating things over and over and over again. You have it in your head, but you never wrote it out. You creating these templates for your business helps you. And then you having the scrutiny of other people will make you do it better. And again, it's something that they don't have to do themselves now, and they're going to thank you for that. They're going to see that as valuable. And these are things that you can give away for free. You can use them as lead magnets to grow your list, or you can use them as add-ons to add value to the things you're selling, however you want to use it, or you can even sell them in some cases. So these are the things that are going to differentiate you. And these are the reasons people are going to want to be in your community and come back to your community and look to you as an authority within your community, because you bring them the things that make them better, that makes their lives easier, that makes their jobs easier to do, and moves them along quicker in the process. And that's huge. And that brings me to the third idea, which is quick wins. Anytime you can actually help someone make a difference in their business or in the way they approach their business, it is a game-changing step in your relationship. You are now not just creating interesting and informational content, you're actually changing the course of their business, which can, for you, become a testimonial, can become a referral for new business. It can become added sales from this person who now wants to work with you in the future. It can be a longtime listener and subscriber and fan that shares your content out with other people. It can be a lot of things. And the best part is you've helped someone. And giving people those quick wins is important. It's fine to just entertain and be informative, but if you can actually create a quick win with someone, you've now created a loyal customer. And what's funny is in figuring out, okay, like what is it that differentiates the winners from the losers in terms of your brands? One of the things out there, like one of the stats that I discovered a while back, if you listen to my content, you might have heard this, is that something like upwards of 70% of brands, if they disappeared tomorrow, people wouldn't care, right? I mean, let that sink in. Over 70% of brands, if they disappear tomorrow, people would not care because they have something else they could use. Like they're like, I could use this or that. They all seem the same to me, right? And if you dive deeper and you figure out, okay, well, what is it? What does make someone loyal? Because that's what I'm looking for, are people that want to be a part of my community and are loyal. What creates that? The only measurable factor that creates loyalty in a customer is a shared meaningful experience, okay? And what does that mean? It means that you have somehow created some kind of transformation for them. You've created something that they will remember that caused an emotion and help them move along in their journey. And a quick win can do that. It can say, wow, I wish I had known this a while ago. This just saved me a lot of time. Thank you. Wow, this, like, you didn't have to do this. You put your effort, you didn't ask anything for it, and you gave me a quick win in my business. That is huge. And as a lot of you know, like we need to celebrate the wins along the way. It's a lot of work being an entrepreneur and building things on your own. And anything that is a little win on the way, you celebrate, especially if it's something that someone else gave you that wasn't fluff, that actually helped you. So the more quick wins you can give your audience and the people in your community, the better. And they're going to say, oh, wow, how did I get this? Well, this leader, this authority in the space helped me with this. That is what creates loyalty. That is what creates a passion and an emotion towards you as a leader in the space. People talk about know, like, trust, and that's all great. But they don't really talk about the how. And this is part of the how. You actually creating value for them. And people talk about creating value. Like, what is that? Well, it's these quick wins. It's you figuring out from your audience specifically what it is that they need that's going to help them in their business. That's going to get them the quick win, not just a generic Joe Schmo, a quick win, but like the actual person in your business, Jennifer, Steven, Bob, Joe, whatever their names are, that one person, if you think about them, what's going to help them today? Because if it can help them, it might be able to help 10 other people, 100 other people as well that are already in your community. And you working with them and listening to them and talking to them because they're in your community, because you have access to them, shows, number one, that you have heart and you care about their business succeeding, and that two, you're listening, and three, that you have the knowledge and the wherewithal to actually help them. So deliver these quick wins, and you will find that your people that are just casually observing you are going to start to become people that actually care about you and care about what you're doing and are become fans and possibly customers out of this. And that is how you become an authority within your community, how you leverage authority in your community to nurture it, to make it stronger, to make it better, and to then become a magnet for other people that want to join your community as well. So that's what I wanted to dive into today, is this idea of authority within your community. I do have 2 more pieces of this coming up in the next couple weeks. This was episode 105. 107 is going to be about discovery. This is about how do people find you? How do you get your community noticed? Because if you aren't out there promoting it, no one's going to find it, and you are not getting to have the impact you want in people's lives because no one knows you're there. And then that's discovery. And then episode 109 is going to be about list building. And this is how do you, after people have discovered you, how do you bring them in, nurture them, and add them to your list, which is your direct line of communication with them. So huge parts of community. If you have people coming in and out, it's not a community. You have to have people that you can consistently talk to and bring them along the path to going from just casually knowing you to actually really wanting to be an impassioned fan of your community. So it's authority, discovery, and list building. These are the 3 big pieces of community for me. And I hope you guys are finding this valuable. And again, if you hadn't listened, go back to episode 96 and you can hear my deep dive on community, the broader overview of what the concept's about. And then we'll dive deeper. Next week, episode 107 on discovery and how to grow your community could be from zero. Doesn't matter. These tactics work top to bottom. So I'm excited to keep talking about this. As you can tell, this is a subject I've been excited about this year. So I'll keep bringing you that. And then check out the interviews too. I'd love to hear what you guys are loving and what you guys want to hear more of. You're always welcome to email me, brandon@brandonbrands.com, and tell your friends. If you love this episode, please take a screenshot of it and share it on Instagram or your social media of choice and tag me at Brandon Birkmeyer or at B Birkmeyer. And I can thank you for tagging me, and I'll chime in on it. I will do that with everyone that does this. And I appreciate you guys listening every week. It's huge. It's going to be a big year for us here at Brands on Brands on Brands. So just appreciate you guys being a part of my community. And if you do, since this is a community series, if you want to join my Facebook group, you can go to brandonbrands.com/FB for Facebook FB, brandonbrands.com/FB. Join us. And every week you'll hear what's going on in our content, in our episodes and our offers. And then you can reach out to me and we can have a conversation. So, all right, guys, that's it. Gonna let you go. Appreciate you. Catch you next time.
You've just taken your marketing knowledge to another level with this episode of Brands on Brands on Brands. But we have plenty more ways to not just help you build a business, but build a brand. Head over to brandonbrands.com for more resources, as well as access to our blogs, videos, and exclusive coaching sessions with your host. Be sure to visit brandonbrands.com.